Hello, I'm Coach Natalie, and welcome to another episode of Jiu Jitsu for Dummies. Today we're going to work on the 180 arm bar. And like all arm bars, done from side control, it's going to be achieved by us attacking the far arm. So we're going to secure an arm, we're going to go around 180 degrees to the other side, and then we'll get the arm bar. That's how it gets its name. So let's check it out. Okay, let's check out the 180 arm bar. Now, there's a lot of 180 arm bars out there. As I said, this is also called the spinning arm bar. And you'll see a bunch of variations where people will practically be spinning around the trapped arm, but this is a simpler version. So first thing we're gonna do is we're gonna get to side control. I'm gonna be underhooking the head, and I'm going to be underhooking this far arm, and ultimately my hand needs to be pointing towards the head. So, looks like this. Side control, underhooking the head, underhooking this far arm. Now what I'm going to be doing is I'm going to be grabbing this far arm and I'm going to be lifting the person up. My elbow is going to hook with their elbow, and I'm even going to tighten that grip a little further by kind of pinching my arms. That way it really traps their arm against my bicep. You'll see this is going to cause your partner, or in this case your dummy, to be pointing towards you. Next, I'm going to be controlling them by putting my hand on the side of their head, on the side of their neck, that kind of thing. By getting them onto their shoulder, that also shortens the distance that I need to get around to get to the other side. So, final thing, I'm going to be pivoting on this knee. So this foot is going to be walking around. This foot is going to be allowing me to pivot. And when I get to the other side, grab the belt, and I'm going to let myself down in a controlled fashion, kind of with a crunch, using a crunch. So, again, underhooking the head, the arm, hook their arm, pinch their arm, secure the head, walk, grab the belt, and let myself down. Now, you'll see I'm holding onto their belt. I am pinching their arm with both my knees. If she had a thumb, her thumb should be pointing upwards. That way you know you have the proper orientation. Once the arm is fully secured, then I can let go. One hand on the wrist, one hand on the elbow, pinch, and tap. And then, if you want to get more drilling time in, you can just go from the opposite direction. Again, starting on the side control, underhooking the head, underhooking the far arm. Remember, my hand should be pointing in the direction of her head. So, secure elbow to elbow, pinch the arm. She should be on her side and to the side of her face. 1, 2. My foot ends in the small of her back. Again, I'm grabbing her belt. So, securing the position. I'm pinching her arm with my 2 legs. If she had a thumb, her thumb should be pointing upwards. Well, finally, when everything is secured, foot's on the other side, grabbing this belt. Now I can let go. And get the tap. So, pretty simple. Of course, one of the mistakes that the person on the top might make would be giving them too much space. Now, the person on the top always wants to be as tight as possible. They want to create what we actually call negative space. They want to, you know, be as tight in and close in as possible. The person on the bottom obviously wants to have as much space. They want to be able to escape and that kind of thing. So one of the mistakes you might make is, you know, when you're grabbing this arm, you're just leaving a lot of space here. That's obviously not good. You could pinch the arm, but you know, I said it would be best if you're kind of close. Like I said, if they're on the bottom, they're going to be trying to get their knees in, you know, establishing a knee shield, that kind of thing. So, giving them too much space. Also, when you get to the opposite side, as soon as you can, try to grab this belt. If you don't grab this belt, they can start what we call hitchhiking out, which is, you know, walking their legs to the opposite direction. If when you get to the opposite side, you're holding on to this belt, it keeps them from doing that. And finally, when you're maneuvering yourself and sitting down, you know, you don't want to flop backwards. You want to be in controlled fashion. And there's a guy named Jiu Jitsu. He's got a great video series. And he recommends that you kind of like, when you're sitting, you're kind of like also crunching your, you know, abdominals. So that allows you to, you know, sit down in a controlled fashion. Okay, so let's check it out all again. Again, you're in side control, underhooking the head, underhooking this far arm. Gonna pinch elbow to elbow, also pinch against your bicep. You're gonna pull them to one side. Makes it easier to get around their body. They're kind of smaller this way. I'm gonna be kind of pressing on the side of their head or their neck. Foot. This foot goes to the small of their back as I grab their belt. So, settling myself in here. Pinching the arm with my knees. My bottom should be, you know, as close to them as possible. That's also part of the, you know, not giving them too much space. Her thumb, she had a thumb. Her thumb should be pointing upwards. Once everything's good, I can let go of the hand, go to the wrist, and very slowly tap, tap, tap. If I want to drill, again, getting to this side, side control, underhook the far arm, grab them up, elbow to elbow, even bicep, pressing on their bicep, pressing, controlling their head, keeping them down. Foot in the small of the back. I have crunch, hold on to the belt, secure myself, you know, keep them from rising up. That's why the leg is over their head. Pinch the arm, holding on to one elbow. If she had a thumb, the thumb would be up. Scoot. And that is a simple 180 armbar. Now, I've been doing Jiu Jitsu for 7 years, and there's still moves that I do better than others. A couple of weeks ago, we were actually doing the 180 armbar in some classes I'm taking with my professor online. And I was kind of frustrated. You know, frankly, as I've mentioned before, I don't have the longest arms. I don't have a lot of upper body strength. So the idea of lifting myself up, you know, 90 degrees, it it looked easy because my professor made it look easy, but I was like, this is just not going to work. And I thought, you know, should I even try to do the 190 armbar? But in Jiu Jitsu, as in life, you have two choices. One would be what we call the fixed mindset. And that's saying, well, I don't have the physical abilities. I'm not a natural born athlete. You know, I'm not going to do anything that I might find difficult. You know, if it doesn't come easy to me, you know, why do it? The other one is what we call the growth mindset. The growth mindset says that anything that requires learning new skills is going to require some effort. But it's okay. It's actually, it's great to look for activities that to do that you don't necessarily have a lot of skills at right away, and that it's actually great to be uncomfortable, maybe fail at it, you know, 10 times before you get it right, and that kind of thing. And that's a great attitude to have in life, because let's face it, you know, most of life is some kind of struggle. And in Jiu Jitsu, we like to say, you know, you're getting comfortable with being uncomfortable. So that's a good way to look at any of the moves, you know, that we've had in this series. It might work well for you the very first time you try it, but you know, if it doesn't, that's fine. Adjust it, you know, make it your own. Which brings me to the exciting announcement that next week will be our 40th video. It'll be our first year anniversary too, so really have something special planned for you. Hope you can make it. In the meantime, thank you again for joining me for this episode of Jiu Jitsu for Dummies.